So today we are shooting the last video of 5. This doesn't even count. Chill out.
Don't screw up the whole thing.
I won the first 2, handily, I might say.
Really?
And then because I felt so bad for them, actually because I was just plain old embarrassed for them because of how pathetic their first 2 performances were.
That's rude.
I let them win the next 2. So
usual.
here we go, the big finale, and I am fully confident I will not be broken.
Yeah.
Oh God, but they seem to be highly confident in their plan.
Whatever it takes to get the job done.
Oh, that's not good. All right, we haven't started yet.
Oh my God.
Just coming up here.
Dork warning.
Hey, this is Doug Johnson, aka Housing Revolution. Welcome to the final of this week's series, How Investors Inflate Housing Prices. Thus far, we've learned the 3 mechanisms by which real estate investors inflate housing prices. We've also learned the inflationary cycle in which investor-induced housing inflation pushes potential owner-occupants out of the market and relegates them to being renters, which then enables investors to buy up even more housing, which then inflates housing prices even more, etc., and it keeps going around and around. We've also learned just how unjust our system is, as it forces many people to be renters and having to pay what would have been used to build housing equity for themselves, but what instead gets taken by investors to fund their lives of leisure, travels, toys, and put their kids through college, etc. Most importantly, we've learned that if it weren't for all of the investor-induced housing inflation that has been happening now for many, many decades, most renters would be able to own their own place and have the housing security and the building of equity that come from home ownership.
The night of the big gay bathrooms. I remember that. What was that night all about? Do you recall that?
So, today, as we talk about real, permanent solutions to our perpetual affordable housing crisis, we know that we must get rid of any and all investor-induced housing inflation.
Do you recall that?
It should just be forgotten.
I don't know how.
Strategies for this are typically taxation, such as land tax or taxing away all rentier gains and inflationary real estate asset gains.
We would go and take the recorder and then we'd go in and record little things.
One problem with this is the tax code is too easy to change.
Now, you talked to the beach by that fish restaurant.
That's right.
A new Congress and presidential administration can easily go in and simply undo any previous changes that had been made in order to hinder real estate investing.
Didn't you drive pump or drive, what's that called?
I don't think so.
And as often happens, investors will just find a way to get around it all. And I'm a cut-to-the-chase guy.
Yogurt monster.
Gross!
Allowing investors into our land and housing system is the root problem here.
Wake up in the middle of the night with all this.
You take them out of the system, then you're also taking out the inflation and the hyperinflation they have brought about.
He has a really small account.
You got smaller?
There's a reason all of the strategies we've been futilely attempting to fix housing with haven't worked.
We could talk about your ex-girlfriend.
They are attempting to address symptoms only, instead of addressing the systemic roots of the problem.
She never has come back here with her last name intact.
As long-
Her poor husband back there in West Virginia or wherever the hell they are, he will never understand.
It should just be forgotten.
As long as we allow investors to remain in our land and housing system, along with the inflation these useless but predatory middlemen bring about, nothing's going to change.
What was the name of that girl that slept on the couch that night? What's her name? Tanya.
So, check out the Affordable Housing Forever Act, my 12-year plan to permanently fix housing. It's the only plan out there that bans all real estate investors. All right, see you next week. Over and out. I'm the champ.
Damn it.
Dinner.
Dead fish.
And you,
Brush your
Mr.
teeth.
White McCracken, whatever it takes to get the job done. Dinner.
Yeah, anyway.
And sweet Mavis Sue, bring your jumpsuit.
Goodbye.